All right, so we're here at an eviction in Cincinnati High. This is one of Jerry's properties, and it's been an absolute nightmare for him. I don't understand the situation. He wanted me to come down and see what's going on with this. His guy has been helping to move out of the property, which a few years back, I helped a lady that had illegally moved into one of my properties. She's a lady of the evening. We had to physically move her out of the property, and she gave us an address in literally the middle of nowhere to take her and her stuff, and it was literally in the middle of nowhere in Ross County, Ohio. And she said, yep, this is where I want to be. It was literally next to a river and stuff. It was the weirdest thing I've ever had. And as we were helping her move, like guns and ammunition were falling out of bags. I didn't do anything, and I didn't get anything else involved. It was so weird. So Jarius is here, and I think we're going to check to see how much it's trashed and what's going on.
I pull up and I see all that stuff on the curb. Yeah. The first thing I'm thinking is like, they have to get this out of here. There's going to be a fine. Like, cause anytime you're investing in areas that are up and coming, the city always pays attention. So for all the reasons you want to invest in this neighborhood, there on the other side of that is it draws attention. And part of that attention is the city is always up here. And she literally moved out last night. Like, one of my guys helped her get her stuff out of here. And I guess they left the mattresses on the street. And I'm like, and she's like, I'll come back and get it tomorrow. And tomorrow's today. But guess what happened? Just in that time, I got a $150 fine for that being out just a few hours. And it's a lot of stuff, but when the city is paying attention to neighborhoods that they want to invest money in, they said
they're going to find everybody to get rid of, trash on the street that used to have 5-10 years ago.
Yeah. So this tenant, she lived here for 3 years. And guys, listen to the sign, like the economy is changing. Yeah. I have 60 some units, and I'm telling you right now, we are facing more evictions and late payments than we ever had in the last 5 years. And this was in COVID. We gave people tons of grace, like a lot. And we didn't have to evict anybody because it all kind of worked itself out. Yeah. But now in the last 6 months, it's been wild. Like, I have 2 evictions going, actually 1 now, because this person was going to get evicted tomorrow. And she moved out. So obviously I'm not going to evict her or whatever. And our request is, hey, leave before the eviction, get it in broom swept condition. Yeah. Doesn't need to be spotless. That just means just clean it. Just have it a little clean, but just leave and go start over somewhere else. And we helped her because she actually got behind 3-4 months ago.
Oh, gosh. So
we gave her to like Holy Family, the city coalition, something, and these other resources to help pay her rent to get her back on her feet so she can find a new job. Yeah. And she exhausted all of them and never ended up getting that job. Because like, as a landlord, you don't want to evict somebody. You don't want to drop 3-day notices. It's somebody's like life. So you want to give them a nice, safe place to live. You want to be fair. But also at the end of the day, like, I have to pay the bank every single month on this.
So you're bringing in, like, let's say $25,000.
Yeah, so yeah, you get 60 doors, you're bringing in like $25,000 a month, right? Yeah. After it's all said and done. Well, here's what happens. Now you have 6 empty units. Yeah. Well, each empty unit is about $1,000. Ours are a little bit more, but just say 1,000. So then you got minus 6,000. So then you're at 19,000. Then you have 6 units you need to turn. Yeah. Now you need to turn those units. Each of those units are about $2,500 to turn. Yeah. So you subtract 12,000. So that 19 turns into 7. And then that's how you live. And you're like, crap. It's only when things are running at 100%. And that doesn't even include maintenance. We had to replace some gutters. We had to fix some stairs. You get calls for this and that. It's like having 60 units is that weird spot where you're like, oh, everybody's like, you're doing amazing. It's like, you are. I mean, I scaled from 0 to 60 in less than 5 years. And I am doing good, but like, it's not as good as people think.
Well, I know this. You're on the other side of the spectrum that I was at 60 units, because I was like, oh, I've got 60 units. I don't have to do yearly rent increases. I don't have to be aggressive with tenants. We can give my tenants a couple months of grace and whatever, so on and so forth. And then what I ended up happening was, it wasn't 1 or 2 months. It ended up, by the time eviction court ran through that whole procedure, it was really 5 months of no rent. And let's say at $1,000 a month, so that's $5,000 on rent. And it's like, okay, so how much damage can be completed in the unit? Because I'm still willing to forego the eviction, just leave and take your crap with you. And it was like, it wasn't $2,500. It was $3,500 here, $5,000 here, $10,000 here, $15,000 there. They just, oh, I hate Mr. Brady. He only gave me 6 months of free rent. Let's trash the place. And then it ends up being $15,000 worth of rent. So it's like, my 3 months of profit on the performing portfolio are blown. They're gone. I'm not making any money for the next 3 months. So that's the thing that I have found out with all of mine, is you have to be on the ball with evictions, you have to be on the all turnarounds, and you have to push all those things.
But then it's one of those things that's like, is it really bad enough for me now to strip this off, then skim it, then paint it. I ended up letting my leasing agent go because like, there's certain things that I need to have done. Like I need to look at the data. I want to know, I'm like, cool, we fill a unit. That's amazing that we filled that unit, but how many inquiries did we get? How many applications did we get? How many showings did you get? How many days on market? I need to know all the details. Yeah. And I wasn't getting that. So I couldn't make decisions that were data driven. I was making decisions based on my gut. And at the end of the day, like my VA can keep track of all this stuff. Like I have automations now that can keep track of all this. And I'm gonna show this to people. We're gonna show it. We're gonna leave this up. And if enough people say we hate the wallpaper, it can't say like, I'll take care of it. But I don't think somebody's gonna rent it because of this. We are gonna come in. So this is the first time seeing it. So she left in the middle of the night yesterday. Her eviction was today, so she took all of her time getting out of here. And let's look and see how she left it. Like it's not bad. I mean, I don't want to.
Oh, this is fine. No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's like salt all over the ledge.
Yeah. So we'll clean this, touch up some paints. We did nice tile surrounds. I love the tile surrounds. We're gonna recalk this and put a new toilet seat on. This, hang the mirror again. Oh, man. All this will just touch up. Honestly, we'll probably repaint the unit. Yeah. I see this. It's probably a roof leak of some sort. And I'm not gonna say I'm okay with it, but I had already kind of set money aside to put a new roof on this place anyway. So I think now is gonna be the time. I'm just gonna have them throw a roof on. We pay for our roofs. I know you're Mr. Roofer, but we'll pay. So I'll end up getting seconds shingles, just black seconds. And seconds for anybody wondering, seconds are just shingles that had some kind of defect. So whether they were running the shingles off the assembly line and the dye ran out or the tar ran out or something happened, like they are still quality shingles. They're just not perfect. You get those downstairs at Economy Shingles for $75 a square.
75. Oh.
Yeah, and my guy will put them on for, people are gonna give me shit, but whatever. But like we get them put on for 150 a square. Yeah. So we're about $250 a square to do this. This roof here is I don't know, 20 square or something, whatever it is. So we'll put the new roof on because like that's something I just don't want to mess with.
Yep.
Another thing that we'll do is up here, this is what they call classic boob light, and one of the lights are out. And my tenants, even though they're supposed to change out lights and all that kind of stuff, they don't. So we'll swap this out and I'll just throw one of those LED ones in.
Oh, okay.
They're like, you get a 6-pack off Amazon for like 50 or 60 bucks. They last forever. I'll throw that in, just done. So I'm thinking of like, what things that could be a maintenance issue are easy for me to fix now that I won't have to mess with later. And like, that's one of them there. We'll do that one. This one, I guess she did change the light bulb and then the cover grew legs and walked away.
Yeah. Well, you broke your boob light.
Yeah. But I bought this building. This was listed on the MLS. Bought it off the MLS, and I can't remember what I paid for it.
I want to know what you pay for it because I know people like make fun of me and like, oh, everything Brandon has is crap. No offense to Jerry, I'm expecting a lot nicer on this because this is pretty comparable to probably 20 or 30 places that I have in terms of, it's the battleship gray type walls, painted trim in here. I normally do not, this is granite?
Yes.
Okay. So I normally don't put granite or marble on my properties. I put the nicer builder grade laminate because I still have not found a good marble guy, but I know that you guys have a great marble hookup in this area. The medium grade tile and everything. Everything else, and here's something that I would put in one of my properties, Jirius and his crew do that I don't do, is they buy much nicer neighborhoods and they get much better rent than I do. And for me, I'm in like the mid-low neighborhoods. I don't get top rent. I get crap tenants, even though I'm at this quality.
Yeah. So this one I bought this in 2016. So this is like one of my first rentals.
Okay.
So the one next door looks a lot different. And honestly, it really doesn't look that much different. I don't use this stone anymore. This is Ashton White. Because I don't like anything speckled. Like if I'm on a budget, I'll just do black pearl, which is a dark, it's almost a solid black.
Right.
The other ones are all quartz. I bought this in 2016 for $65,000.
Okay.
And this was not on the MLS. I bought this from a woman who just knew me from the neighborhood. So this building appraised recently, just last year, for $190,000.
Okay.
So I own this one and the one directly next door. This is zoned for both residential and commercial.
Oh.
So like if a tattoo shop wanted to move in here or a laundromat wanted to come in here, I could put something in here a little bit different. But it's nice having both of these together because it's No, it just works out.
Is this a duplex or single family?
Duplex.
Okay.
So these rent for $995 each one of you one bedroom.
$995 each.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, there's properties that I have in Circleville that are similar to this that we would get about $1,000 a month off of.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to get any one bedroom for like $800 anymore, $700. When I first bought this rented for $600 a month when the first neighbor came, was here. It was just $600.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
Yeah, this reminds me of some of the neighborhoods I was in. I've got one in Circleville. I used to rent everything for $500 a month, and someone just leased a property for $1,800 a month. 2-bedroom side of a duplex.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
And then this is what I like too about this unit. Da-da-da-da. It's up. So we have to replace all the blinds. Oh gosh.
So one thing I hate about mini blinds.
Look at that. So that's views of Clifton over there.
That is amazing.
Yeah, then there's some, we can't see downtown, but you can see Clifton really nice right here.
That's amazing. I do not have that in Central Ohio.
So this is a cool, and then what's cool is like Block Coffee's right there, the theater's right there. You can see Prima Vista, Incline Public House.
How long do you think at this point it's going to take to turn? How much is it going to cost? Because I know you are very optimized on everything. And I'm going to call you like, I listened to him and it's like people accuse me of being cheap just for cheap's sake. But you guys are so good on finding like the best talent and really efficient people, because you're saying you're doing shingles for $175 per square. And I've looked at one of my job, I'm doing a shingle job for $1,000 per square. So like over 5 times what Jarius is doing on his. And it's like, well, you're doing the second shingles. I've already got pricing from one of the national manufacturers of shingles, and I can get shingles for $75 per square. I have to buy by the train load, like 1 train car load of shingles per time to the maximum weight to get them for $25 a bundle. Or we can go down here and buy, however many I assume it's needed. Is a pallet at a time?
It's a pallet. Yeah.
Who cares about pallet?
Yeah.
So I'm very curious, like what you think you were having this and how you found some of the right people to do those big repairs. I could find somebody to do blinds for, $8 a piece or $5 a piece or whatever, but I couldn't find a good painter. Painters. So
I think TaskRabbit's a great place to start to find somebody.
I've looked at TaskRabbit a bit, but Cincinnati is probably different than where I'm at in Circleville, because I know for TaskRabbit, everybody's been 50 plus an hour.
Right, and then they charge their trust and support fee, which is like $18 or whatever on top. I don't like the hourly rate stuff. Like, okay, this apartment's 700 square feet. I want you to repaint this entire apartment. What I'm gonna do is I will give you $2 a square foot to repaint the entire apartment so it's rent ready. Yeah. Well, what's $2 a square foot? I'll give you $1,400 to paint this whole thing. I don't care if they stay all day and do it in one day. I'm not gonna say I don't care if it takes them a week, but like I don't want to pay them per hour. I wanna pay them per thing.
Per task, yeah.
If the person really understands that, like, man, I can make some good money doing it that way, that is a win-win relationship. Like, I don't want to pay an hourly guy to put up blinds. I'd rather pay them $10 a blind, and then they can knock them all out in an hour, make $80 in an hour, and go on to the next one.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
But the thing is like most contractors, when I tell them that, sometimes they're just like, I don't do that. I like to bid it by the job. I'm like, all right, well, how much would this cost? It's $1,000. And that's before I get into even saying, well, I like to pay $2 a foot. Yeah. So like, yeah, 1,000's fair. Hey, I can do side work on the weekends. And then I'll pay them what I think is fair, 25, if I'm paying them hourly, $25 an hour, $30 an hour. Or if I'm like, hey, I got $2,000 to go do this little porch roof, can you make it happen? They trust you, you pay them on time, you're a consistent source of work. They kind of confide in you, and they're like, the one specific guy, he's like, I make $80 a day. I'm like, how will you make $80 a day?
Holy crap.
And now he like literally the one of them, and there was a few people. This one guy's like cried to me and been like, dude, you saved me from where I was at.
Mind you, his boss had a brand new 3500 Ram, like the giant white van with the nice rims. He'd come pick up his checks in a brand new truck, jacked up on rims.
Yeah.
And his guys were working 10-hour days, 6 days a week. They get 1 day off, so there's no time for them to go find work. They just in the cycle where they live in his house. I mean, it's just,
And they don't know how to bid the jobs. And I taught him how to bid jobs out, and he's crushing it now. Like, he's very busy.
one of your famous lines, I feel like that helps you get labor, is you're always like, hey, can you go check out this house for me? And while you're over there, can you check out this house? instantly their mind's like, wow, this guy has more than one house at one time for me to work. Their brain just goes nuts.
Yeah.
I own 30 houses.
Oh gosh.
And what's insane is you couldn't give away a house in this neighborhood 10 years ago. I flipped the very first house here. I bought it for $9,000. I put like 150 into it, sold it for like 140. I lost, but it was the first house I ever flipped. Everybody's like, oh, it's beautiful, it's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, it's would I recommend that? Would I do that ever again? No. Like, would I recommend somebody else do that? No. I was making really good money wholesaling, and I was like, I just really wanted to flip a house and shouldn't have done that, but I did it, and it makes a good story 10 years later. I've recovered. It's crazy to think that 90% of the deals that I got in this neighborhood all came from word of mouth, all came from direct mail, all came from showing up at these little community council meetings at this gym up here, like all of that.
It's rolled asphalt, and the asphalt's totally degraded. So there's plywood sheathing under it, and the plywood sheathing's bad. So if you're not stepping in the right spot, I would probably fall through. And that's a self-depreciating joke calling myself fat. So
This is one of those things where I never even heard from the tenant that it was like this bad the whole time she's been here.
Yeah.
And
Going out there and sat.
well, yeah, and you know what? When I did my walkthrough, I didn't go out here when we did our last walkthrough 6 months ago. I don't know why I just didn't. Honestly, what I think I'm gonna do is just put a deadbolt on this door and just be like, you can't use it. I'm gonna repair it.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's worth it when I fix it, it'll be fine?
to be honest with you, I love this kind of thing. We've done it a couple places. I know that's not what you wanted.
I know. I'm gonna fix it and I'm gonna have my roofer come in.
Yeah.
Crazy fact, you probably saw it, is in Cincinnati recently, somebody was having a house party and I think they had 10 or 15 people on a balcony in Clifton
Yes.
and it collapsed.
Yeah, there was a video of it on TikTok.
That's
I think.
scary, man. That's crazy. Like,
You have to make sure expect right. That's
but what do you do though? Because that balcony wasn't meant to hold 15 people.
Oh, yeah.
And well, so like at what point is it like user negligence? But at the end of the day, it's always the landlord that's gonna get in trouble.
We had this huge argument at our real estate investor association, which has probably 100 people in it outside Columbus, Ohio, and they tracked all of the landlord lawsuits. How many people were truly successful at the end of the day of suing their landlord after the landlord's insurance company stepped in? And we only found one guy that actually was sued successfully for negligence, and they had the landlord on a wire from an undercover officer. He knew the tenants were selling crack out of a rental property, and someone got shot. There was a shootout in the rental, and they were pretty sure the landlord was in on the drug trafficking, like he was getting the cut of it, but they had him on a wire saying, "Oh, I know they're selling crack," and he lost $5 million on it, but he still has properties in Columbus.
Well, he lost it. You mean the insurance lost it?
They sued him for the value of an apartment complex. $5 million apartment complex. He lost it, but not the rest of his real estate, and the bank stuck it to him on paying the mortgage off after the property was seized, because I think he had personally guaranteed the note. So that was like our big case in Central Ohio of like, how many times does the landlord like truly lose out on a lawsuit? Yeah. And at least in the state of Ohio, we came to the determination, so long as you have good insurance and you are not being criminally negligent. Now, this is not legal advice, but you are not knowingly doing something where someone professionals come in and say, you cannot do this. So it's just ignorance of, well, I didn't think or know that you could put 20 people on that deck.
Yeah.
I understand, generally speaking, it's been a situation where the landlord hasn't ended up with a large lawsuit or large loss of funds. Insurance has taken it and the landlord's out some legal fees and they call it a day. We ran into one guy and it was, I'm going to win this court case because the tenant's a dirtbag. Landlord or the attorney said, please don't do this. Like, you'll win, but you're not going to make anything off this. And he was $10,000 out of pocket on legal fees. The tenant hated him too, so the tenant was also out $10,000 legal fees. No one made anything off.
The only people that win in lawsuits are the attorney.
So they win everything.
It's a joke. But this is like, this is a cozy one bedroom. This one doesn't have forced air. It has, it does. It has forced heat, not central air. It just has the window units. And that was something that kind of bugged me for a little bit. I'm like, oh, do we upgrade the panels and put in the forced air, forced AC? And the answer is like, no. So I used to provide the window units in every single unit. She's been in here for 3 years. And I only have 6 units that don't have central air. So now it's like, they're in here, you guys take, like, we don't do anything with them anymore, because I used to put them in during the summer, take them out during the winter, and then they would get lost. And then the tenants would be like, we still want them, and this and this. And it just became a huge headache. And there's like 2 sides to it. It's like, do I really want a tenant drilling holes and stuff and trying to do it and do this and that? Or do I tell them like, hey, I'm gonna put them in, they're in. Like, I will not take them out, I will not do anything. They have to clean the filters. You know, they got to keep it clean, which this is actually, it's still got all the new things. These window units, whenever they stop working, 99% of the time, it's because the filter is completely clogged up. This one's not too bad, but I mean, it's like, it's bad enough. Like,
Yeah.
it just, you're just running under the water. Look at that. I mean, I've seen way worse. But keeping this clean, guys, and keeping your filters, whether they're your furnace or your AC or whatever, keeping these clean is the key. It will burn out your units and they will get destroyed.
Yep.
And then they call, landlord, I need a new one. And it's like, these aren't terribly expensive, but if they're $300, like,
Yeah.
I don't need to spend, you buy 3 of them and here it's $900. If every year I'm budgeting $900 to do this, it just adds up. God, you look skinny, man. I don't understand. All right. Today was the eviction. And always before the eviction, we just want to make sure they're out because, like, you don't want to go there for nothing. And he drove up, and then I was looking this morning. Phil's like, I'm helping her move out. And I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, what happened last night?
And I see the girl walking out with some stuff, and I'm like, okay, so this is the unit that I need to go check and see if it's vacant. So I get there, and I'm like, I see that she has a small baby. She starts telling me her situation. She's like, I can't get all this stuff out. I only have a car, and the baby's out there crying. So I'm like, what's this? Show me what you want, and I'll help you. How far are you going? So I was just started carrying everything, packed my truck and took it to her house that she was going to and moved it in and got her out of here and explained to her we'll just sweep up, make sure everything's clean, and it'll keep someone else from having to get paid to do it tomorrow. And won't go against your judgment. You won't hurt your credit, or you can explain your situation, and hopefully it'll work out for you better. So
Oh, nice.
it was just a way to help somebody, because I know at the end of the day, it's less on him and it's less on her, and it's just better for everyone. So
Awesome.
I was raised that way. My parents always taught me, somebody need help and help them. So very good. That's right.
Well, we got a $150 fine for the mattress out front. They were just on it, but I said, I'm going to get it out of there.
And then yesterday, whatever high-powered water system they got just blew up. Rocks shot all over the place. The street opened up again. It was everywhere.
Dun, dun, dun. Let's look inside the fridge. This fridge won't be too bad because the lights are on, which means the electric is on. Tip, never open a fridge in a house where there is no power. It is probably disgusting. But we'll do it here because, like I said, we still have electric. Fridge review.
Oh, whoa.
It looks very nice. It's
That's like winning the lottery.
It is. It's a very clean fridge. I put this one up for rent. This has got a lot of hits, but I'll bring Jonathan over to knock this out. Like, this drives me a little bit crazy, like this. But it's like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna cut this out and Bondo and then redo it? So like, I probably am. I'll always get photos. Like, I like to get photos of this thing here. I already got a picture of the roof, pictures of just spots where like there's like issues and the spots that need touched up. So then I just, at the end of the night, I'll come through and I'm sitting on the couch, you know, whatever, relax, and I'll open up my photos for the day and I'll look and I'll be like, cool, I'll send the roof ones to Darwin or Tino. I'll send the paint ones to Jonathan, Phil, or Jose or whoever. I'll send whatever to whatever. And then, so then I just remember, then I'll delete the photos. And then I'm also like very specific about what it is we got to do to touch up. This is one of those units where it was pretty simple. I mean, this unit was one of my first ones back in 2016. So this is agreeable gray on the walls, eggshell, probably from our 200. I see this and I instantly think of it collapsing and hurting somebody. So like that, I want to get that punched out and then cut out, and then a new drywall against the lath board, because the last thing you want is like plaster coming down or anything. But the bigger issue is the roof. So we'll replace the roof, take care of this. I'm gonna put new flush mount LEDs up everywhere so I don't have to think about it, because we got those sitting around everywhere. They're always on sale on Amazon. It just sucks that she's been here so long and we tried so hard helping her get on her feet. So look at these doors.
Oh, I've seen so much Amazon stuff. Yeah, I don't even know that you need to paint them. They're filthy, though.
They're disgusting.
They're disgusting. They have to get filthy. Okay, this looks like self-depreciating comment. This looks like the door to my bathroom at my house because my kids are filthy and they grab the door and we have to wash it down on a regular basis.
It's not too bad. I mean, a coat of paint, touch it all up, put it up for $950. We'll call it a day. Get somebody a nice new home. It's an awesome location. Yeah. And also always a thought too in the back of my head about these two buildings next to each other. I always thought it'd be cool if like somebody had like a barber shop on the first floor or a tattoo shop and they lived upstairs because they're zoned mixed use. And like, it would be a really cool like work, play, live kind of setup for somebody like a CPA office downstairs. They were upstairs. You're 4 minutes from downtown Cincinnati. Like you're right there without the headache of parking. And
Yeah, I think it's a great location. And I know a lot of cities are wanting to go back to mixed use properties with business on the first floor, apartment on the second floor. Like even in Circleville, they've been so resistant for that. But now it's like, no, we want this.
Yeah.
So now the developers are coming in, or anybody wanting to redo a place is okay. Apartments on the second floor, business on the first.
sure, let's go outside real quick. I'll show you that house over there. I got a little story on. So one of the guys in the neighborhood that helped me with, it still helps me, a ton of stuff, super awesome person, Lester, he lives around the corner. He's like, in every neighborhood that's like up and coming, and really every neighborhood, there's like a guy that knows everything. And like Lester was that guy. He helped me with everything. And this house over here is a house he did a lot of maintenance on. The guy that owned it was in Florida. Very unique house. I looked to buy this, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I own a house right down there. I own 3 down that way. I own 3 townhouses over there, a lot of them. This one right here though, I really wanted it because obviously I love the location where it's at. I don't really like to buy single families. I'd rather buy like 2 to 3, 2 to 4 units, just because if they set empty, at least one of the units is still making money. So it has 2 kitchens, 2 entrances, 2 furnaces, 2 everything except electric meter and gas meter, but 2 everything. It was set up as a 2-family. So years ago, they made it a 2-family. Now I looked on the auditor site and it was zoned as a single family. Now it doesn't matter what the house is, it's matter what it's zoned and the city says it is. I called the city and they're like, hey, this says it's a single family, but it's set up as a 2-family. So they came out and they looked at it. And sometimes if they look at it and really see it's a 2-family, they'll rezone it. So he ran through, he wrote a report, he said it's a 2-family. I went through zoning changes and the city said, this is a single family district now. So what that means is they only want single family houses because they want to encourage home ownership and not renting, not people renting houses. Well, the issue is that has changed recently because housing is at such a shortage that now they're like, hey, we'll make 2 families. You can take a single family, make it a 2-family, like a legal one through the board. But you couldn't do that before. But you can do it now. So like, I didn't buy it because of that. I wish I could have.
Yep, they've done the same thing in Circleville and Chillicothe, where it was no rentals. You can't make a single family into duplex, triplex, quadplex, and now all of a sudden they're all for it. And it's like, you guys waited so long to where we're now in a housing shortage, and all these properties have transferred. They've been converted to their highest and best use currently. So now to take a single family and put multiple electric meters and all that stuff in it, they're gonna spend an extra $100,000 on it, if not more. And it's so stupid because they have spent so long waiting for the changes when they could have just left the zoning laws the same. I own a chicken coop that was turned into a house. I own a horse barn that was turned into a house. And they're like $600 a month, single family attached rentals, and they're studio houses. They've got their own yard, they're in a great part of town, and they're $600 to live in a small house. And you would have to sue the city now to build one of those again. It's crazy.
It's frustrating. That's the rub. It's like you want to invest in up and coming neighborhoods where they're getting incentives, abatements, where the city is pouring money into. Like they just built a brand new rec center, they built a new fire department, they built a new police station, they built a library, they built all this stuff because they want to make it better. And then it's like, then you're under this like lens of scrutiny, and it's like there's a balancing act. So it's like, yes, we want to make the investment, but also like let me as a smaller person, and granted, I know I say I've got 30 houses here, which is a lot, and I get that's not super normal, but I don't think people understood how undesirable this neighborhood. I'm telling you right now, we couldn't be outside here 10 years ago without people like being crazy. Like it was a mess up here. I've been chased out of houses with guns, crack pipes. Like the house next door that I bought, I bought it a little bit later. It smelled like, it was literally just smelled like pee. When I owned this house here, the people next door, like the house next door smells like pee. It's disgusting. And it was a huge issue. You have to have people crazy enough like me that with a long-term vision of like, dude, this neighborhood is going to be great. And it's a little bit different than the neighbor that says the neighborhood's great and they do this and that. They're not investing millions of dollars and like giving up their life to pour up in this neighborhood. It's that thing, it's like, hey, put your money where your mouth is. I put other people's money where my mouth was, and I worked really hard to do that.